How are you doing today? Today, my wife and I are celebrating our 58th wedding anniversary. Can you believe it? I know it seems like a long time to some of you. Someone once said, "That's a long time to be married to one person." Response was, it'd been a lot longer without her. And that's the way I feel. It doesn't seem that long really, but 58 years ago, actually 59 years ago, I was in the library at high school, and a cute junior, I was a senior, and a cute junior came up to me and she said, kind of hesitantly, "My girlfriend Linda and I are going to have a picnic on Sunday, and I was wondering if you'd like to go with me." I thought about it for just a moment and I said, "I'm sorry, but I can't. I go to church on Sunday." Well, she kind of looked a little disappointed, said okay, and turned around and left. Well, I heard that she worked at the local root beer stand as a car hop. Yeah, just like on Happy Days, the same type of thing. And I made sure I was at the car hop that night and every night that I could possibly be there. And after a couple of weeks, I started taking her home from work every night. And then she started going to church with me. And as they say, the rest is history. We've been together all this time, 59 years really, because I had to wait until she finished high school before we got married. So we've been together for a long time. And I wanted to share with you a little bit about the secret that we think are important towards staying married. Just a couple of them. Okay, nothing long and drug out. I am not a marriage counselor. Okay, I am not a marriage expert, but I know what has worked for us. And again, we sat down and we talked about it, and thought, okay, this is what really has helped hold us together. So the first thing that's helped hold us together is having the same values. Okay, that's really the most important thing that we can do to start with. Have the same values in life. We have the same spiritual values. And if you don't have that, then you really don't have anything. We like to think that everything we do in life is viewed through the lens of Jesus. You remember a few years ago they had a popular thing going around, what would Jesus do? And you kind of ask yourself that question if you're really trying to live for Christ, okay? What would Jesus do? How does it affect us? How does it affect our relationships? What's most important in these things? You see, it affects our love relationships, our jobs, whatever it may be. It affects it when we look at it through that lens. And if you don't have the same values, then a relationship is never going to work. And secondly, we like to think that we love one another more than anything else in this world. We value one another more than anything else in this world. Okay? More than houses and jobs and money and workmates, friends, relatives, whoever it may be. We value one another. And you need to understand what that means when you're talking about having the same values and valuing one another. Years ago, I had counseled a young couple wanted to get married, and a month or so after they were married, the wife came back crying about a terrible relationship, and she didn't know what to do. And come to find out, her husband was an alcoholic. And I said, "Did you know this before you got married?" "Yes." "Didn't I ask you that question?" "Yes." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Well, I was afraid you wouldn't marry us," she said. The marriage did not last. They didn't have the same values. They didn't value one another as much as they could. You see, my wife and I have been together through good times and bad times. We like to think of our life as being an adventure. What's the next leg of the adventure in our life? My wife was figuring it up the other night. She said she thought that we had lived in 21 different homes in 58 years. Now, I know that seems impossible to some of you, but it's never been my decision. Anytime we move, anytime we change jobs, anytime we do anything, we sit down, we talk about it, we pray about it, and we make decisions together. We try to have the same values at the same time. We don't make independent decisions about the big thing. Yeah, I mean, you want to get white milk or chocolate milk, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's not a major decision. Okay, but life-changing decisions are important. So you work together on life-changing decisions. You discuss them. You sit there and talk. And my wife always says, "Well, you don't talk nearly enough." Well, that's probably true. but I try to take part in any conversation that we have. Now, that's important. So, we have the same values, we value one another, and we discuss decisions that have to be made. Those are the three most important things that we talked about when we were talking about what makes our marriage last. And it's a good marriage. And, we hope to have many, many years yet to go on this marriage relationship. So I hope these things help you just a little bit to think about that, especially if you're just thinking about getting married, because we have an everlasting love, one that's never going to die here on this earth. Now, if you appreciate anything about what I've had to say, please subscribe to my channel and, make a comment about it. Press that little thumbs up like button. And it just really would mean the world to me for you to do that. I appreciate it. You have a great day with whoever it is that you love.